y'all, Bridget Bartlett here. Today I am so excited to show you a new feature that has just been made available as of last week when we had Level Up Day. So today I'm going to show you how to automatically create an invoice after a proposal or an estimate is signed. This is super awesome because a lot of the times we do have clients where they need to sign an invoice, and before we were using DocuSign. And then, of course, we could then create the invoice and send it to them. What we want to do is automate this whole process as much as possible, right? And this is just another step in the process. Now, I did want to show you basically what I have done, what I have built, but I want to also kind of reverse engineer it for you guys so that you can see why and how you would want to do this and the steps that you would take. Okay, so the very first thing that you need to do is create a form. Okay, so I'm going to go into my demo account here. I'm going to go to forms, go to sites here. We'll go to forms, form builder, and we need like just some, let's just say booking form, okay, or registration. It doesn't really matter. We just need some questions, okay. Actually, let me see if I can find one that has more questions. All right, what we're going to do is we're just going to create a blank one. We're going to start from scratch. Because really what I need is just fields, right? So if you imagine this form is going to be the information that you're going to input on the proposal, all right? So I'm going to go ahead and add email. Let's add the name. We can definitely add the address here if we want to. We can add their organization name. So maybe we want to put that down here. Maybe we want to move the email up there. So definitely rearrange it however you want to. And then we may even have some custom fields, though this is really cool. Okay, so if you have custom fields in the form, we definitely want to utilize those inside of the proposal because, obviously, or in most cases, when we are having people fill out the form, it's because we need that information, right? So I'm just going to say, for the sake of just showing you guys this, I'm going to say, what would you like? How would you like to be contacted? And let's go ahead and put topic for the call. And we'll go ahead and put PayPal email address, okay? Because I just want to show you what it looks like, all right? Now let's say this is our form. We obviously need a button down here that we can submit here. And I am going to just delete this field for the terms because this is just a training. We don't really need that. We'll just type in submit. All right, submit and save. All right, so now we have this form, okay? And like I said, you would want to ask whatever you needed to in this form. So if you imagine like you're onboarding a client, you have them fill out the onboarding form. Maybe you're doing like providing a service for them and they need to sign first, and then you're going to send them the invoice, okay? And then of course, when they pay the invoice, you can trigger the automations on that. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to rename this form, and let's say onboarding. Okay, and I'm going to save. All right, now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to preview this because I just want the link to the live form. All right, so now we have our form here. And now what I need to do is create a proposal template. So I'm going to go into payments. I'm going to go to proposals and estimates, and I want to create a template because we need to basically choose what we want this to look like so that when we build it inside of our workflow, we actually have that custom data, right, that it's pulling in. All right, so I'm going to create a template here. I'm going to choose new, and there are so many cool things. You can basically build this out just like you could like Panda Docs or any of that, or even like a website page. You could pull in videos and all that. But again, just for the sake of this training, I'm going to make this really simple. We're going to have our headline here. So we're going to say onboarding. And then of course, we're going to tell them whatever we want to tell them. But maybe we have fields here that we want to be able to pre-fill in some data inside the proposal. That way we don't have to manually create a custom proposal for every single person, right? So we could also add, and this is really important too, if you add a product here, which is super cool, especially if you're like doing multiple things, maybe you're doing a web design and maybe you're doing giving access to your CRM, or maybe you're doing like a setup or something like that. You want to build all of those things out. And then once this is signed, it will actually create an invoice. Okay. Now, the invoice will need to be manually sent at that point. All right. So I know that more automations are coming. But as of right now, if you have a product in here, it's going to create the invoice. All right. So what I have actually done is I have not added the product. I have kind of created a table like this one here. Okay. And I just put it in here. And then I had like the product and the price and all of that. Then we're going to have them sign. Once they sign, then inside of the automations, they can sign, but then we can also add a step inside of that automation to go ahead and send the invoice. So we would have to create an invoice template at that point. Okay, so I'm just going to show you what I did here. So we're just going to say product, and we're going to say price. All right, we're just going to say item 1, and then we'll say maybe $997. Let's go ahead and add another row below, and let's say item 2, and let's say this one is $47 a month. And of course, we can build all of that out, right? So definitely so many customizations to make this super, super cool. All right. But now we need to pull in some custom fields. So maybe here in the onboarding area, we want to add maybe their name, their email address, their phone number, and then any of the answers to our questions. Okay, so I'm definitely not making this pretty, but I don't want to keep you guys here all day on design. That's the fun part, right? So you can definitely make it pretty. So what I want to do now is I want to use these custom values to go ahead and pre-fill in a lot of this data, because I don't want to have to recreate this every single time, right? So now I have my name, right? So I'm going to go to the custom fields. I'm going to close this up first. Close. I don't know why it's not closing. Okay. So I'm going to choose now the name. So where's my name? It's going to be in contact. And then we're going to just choose full name. All right. So the email, let's go in the custom values, contact information. We're going to choose their email. Same thing with phone number. We're going to go to contact and then choose their phone number. But remember, we added additional questions here. So we also added what's the address. So I'm going to type in address. And we can have that custom value here too. So we'll just say full address. The next question is, we have the organization. So let's say, we could say business or organization, whatever you want to say. All right. And then, of course, spell it right. You guys know, if you've seen any of my videos, I don't spell well. Okay, so we have organization. Let's go. Let's just say company name. All right, now we have some custom fields. Okay, so if you look here, we have PayPal email address for payouts. All right, so I'm just going to copy this to save time. Let's go back here. And of course, I would be making this all pretty, and this would obviously be something that makes sense, right? Like maybe it's an answer to this here. Maybe I wanted to swap this out with like this and then put the answer here. Okay, so I could totally do that. Let me just delete that. So PayPal email address, and I want to put the answer, whatever they fill out on that form, I want to put here in this box. Okay, so to do that, I would just go to contact and custom fields. Now remember, okay, because I know this was hard for me to keep straight too. If it's custom values, meaning that you created basically the field, the criteria, and you are having them put data into that, that would be like a custom value, right? But if it's something that they're filling out in a form, it's going to be in the custom fields, okay? Because it's an actual field that you've created. They're going to fill out the data on a form, all right? So I want to go to the custom fields here, and I want to choose whatever question that it was asking here. So you see this was PayPal email address. All right, so I'm going to select that, and you'll see here that it creates like this custom value. So what's going to happen now is whatever they chose or whatever they put in the field when they were answering this question on the form, it's going to pre-fill in this data here. Okay, so I hope you guys, your brains are exploding, because tools are great, but it's what I always say, it's all about the strategy, right? So if you can use this tool to automate your processes and save so much time, time is money. Okay, so let's go back here now, and we have topic for the call. Okay, because I'm going to fill this out, and then I want you guys to see what it actually looks like. So I'm going to say here, topic for the call, and then of course I want to put the answer here of whatever they answer on the form. So I'm going to go ahead and go to contact, go to custom fields, and then we need topic for the call. Okay, so whatever they put there, that's what it's going to pre-fill in on this box. All right, I'm going to go ahead and save just because I've done a lot here. But remember, this is a proposal. So what we need is a signature form. Now, as of the level up day last week, you can now add multiple signature fields if you do have multiple people that need to sign the document. So I'm going to go ahead, just so that you know that. I only need really one here. So I'm just going to say training. Okay, and save. So now I have my template. Now what I need to do is I need to go into a workflow here, and I need to create my workflow. Now this is going to be whatever workflow that you need to add this step in. Okay, so it might be like your onboarding workflow. It's probably going to start with that form, right? So I'm going to just say create a new workflow. We're going to start from scratch. And my trigger, this is going to be however you need to incorporate this step. Okay, so it may be onboarding, it may be when people sign up, it may be when a stage is changed in your sales pipeline. There's a million different things that could be triggers, but we're just going to say form submitted, and let's go ahead and choose that form that we just created. So let's see, it was called onboarding, save, and save. So now here, when they fill out that form, I need to choose what's going to happen next, right? Typically, I like to put like a tag. So let's just say tag. Now, why would I do that? I've said this a million times, and I'll say it again. Tags are absolutely the best way to segment your list. So even if you don't understand tags and you're like, that's way above my understanding, it doesn't really matter. Just trust me when I say one day you will thank me for this. Just go ahead and put tags in every single workflow so that you know that lead has gone through the workflow or where they came in from. It will save you so much time later on. Okay. So here, let's just go ahead and add a tag, and this tag is going to let us know that maybe we have a new onboarding or something, right? So let's just add an onboarding tag, and then that way we know whatever contact has this onboarding tag, they have submitted the form for onboarding. Okay, so that's why I like to have those tags there. Then, of course, you can create segmented emails to go out to them and separate smart lists and all kinds of cool things. Okay, maybe you want to add a note here. I mean, I could just go on and on and on, right? I'll say filled out onboarding form, or signed, filled out onboarding form. We'll just say this, okay, just to make it simple. I spelled it wrong, but it doesn't matter. All right, so the important part here, though, is the step where we're going to send the proposal. So if you scroll down here, you will see these payment options here. So we have send an invoice, and we have send a proposal and estimate. So the reason I told you that about the proposal before is we cannot right now automatically send the invoice to, at least if that's possible. I don't know of a way. I've checked the support docs, which PS, you can always go to help.gohighlevel.com if you want to find, I mean, they have the absolute best knowledge base on the planet. You can search for invoice. You'll see all of these trainings here to really break down everything that you're looking for. And also proposals. You can just look for proposal and you'll see all of those trainings there. Okay, so it's help.gohighlevel.com. All right, so back into our workflow, what I'm going to do is I'm going to send the estimate and proposal. Okay, so that's our step, our action name. We're going to say who from, so it's from me. And then I'm going to choose the template that I want to send. Okay, so now when they fill out this form, it's actually going to pre-fill in that template with all of the custom values from the form, and then it's going to send it to them. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and save this right now. Let's go ahead and give this a name so I can find it. Let's just say proposal. We'll say props just for short. All right. So let's go ahead, and if you go back now to, let's fill out this form. Okay. So we're gonna go, I'm gonna say Jane Doe Smith, just because I use Jane Doe a lot. Let's do info plus Jane Doe 555 at my vision, or actually let's choose bridgetbartlett.com. So just PS, if you guys are testing things, if you want to use your real email so that you can actually see the results of what you're sending, you can use your real email address, but this part here that's highlighted, you would just want to do like whatever the beginning of your email is, plus sign, and then you can put anything in here. You'll still receive the email. Like I'll still receive this email to info@bridgetbartlett.com, but it will be technically, or it'll look like this email. Okay, so it's kind of like different people in the system, except it's really all going to the same inbox. That may help you in your testing. Okay, so let's do just a fake phone number here. Let's do an address like 123 Street. And let's do an organization like Jane Doe Agency. We'll put in Jane Doe at Gmail. It doesn't matter really. This is just filling out this form. And I need help with my marketing. Okay, and then how would you like to be contacted? Let's say email and submit. Okay, so thank you for completing this form. So now we should have, and let me move this over here because I do have lots of emails in here. I just want to show you kind of what this looks like here, okay? So this is what it looks like when the proposal is sent. Okay, so this is going to Jane Doe. So we have view proposal. And when you click there to open that up, you'll see that this is what Jane Doe is looking at. So this is the test I did before, just to show you guys. So I built this proposal. This is what mine actually looks like. And then you can see the name Jane Doe. You have the all of the custom values here. You'll see all of the answers are here, all of the questions. It really makes this look so much more professional. Okay, so they can view the proposal there and of course sign it. You'll also receive, or they will, in my automations anyway, I have automatically a invoice that gets sent out. Now the reason that I didn't want to add the info, let me minimize this. The reason I didn't want to add that invoice step in the automation is because if I have products inside of my template here, or my proposal template, then it's going to, as soon as it's signed, it's going to automatically create a invoice. Okay, now I don't want it to do that because I want everything automated. So I actually built the automation so that when my, let me go here to the automation and I'll show you, so that when the proposal gets sent out, the invoice also gets sent out. Okay, so invoice paid. So you want to build out, you know, if you have your invoice there, let me find the onboarding. So here is like my form here. I'm removing them from some workflows. I'm adding some tags. And then you can see here, send estimate proposal. So it's coming from me and it's going to be that onboarding contract. And then we have the send invoice. So you can make them at the same time if you want to. Just make sure that you don't have the actual product inside of the proposal, like that product element that I showed you, because that will create an additional invoice. Okay. So that's how the system is right now. Like I said, that probably will change and we'll have the option to change that. But as of right now, this is a good system. It just sends it at the same time. Okay. Now, inside of, let me see here if I got that email. Okay. All right. So the next step here is once it's signed. Okay. So has been accepted. Actually, let's go onboarding contract. Oh, this one has already been signed. I'm sorry, I'm not going to be able to show you that. Okay, so the onboarding contract, when it has been accepted and signed, they will receive an invoice or a copy, and you also will receive a copy. And if you look at the PDF, you can see how professional this really looks. And of course, keep in mind, it's even a certified signature. So that is a legally binding document. So that's super cool. So really, it replaces everything that you would need and DocuSign to be a legal document. You also have the ability to sign just like you could with the preset signatures or a manual signature. So just like DocuSign, you guys can really, this is so, so cool. And I know so many people have been waiting for this option. So I'm really excited about that. I also have incorporated it into my own system. Okay. So we have our template there. Now, if you want to, you can go to estimates and proposals here, and you can go to settings, and you'll see here that there are a couple things that you can change. If you hate those emails, which I definitely do, I don't think they're very pretty at all. I want to rebrand them. I want to put my own content in there. You can definitely do that. Just go to the settings, and you'll see here it's on default right now. This is in my demo account, so I don't have any that I want to change it to, but you could change it to any of those that you want to, and then just swap it out here, okay? So this is when the document is received, and then also when the document is signed. So you can customize your own emails there, and that is for the customer. Here is for your team to be notified when a document is signed, so you can even customize that as well, okay? So now going into the invoices, if you go to all invoices here and you go to click the little gearbox, you can see that there are a lot of settings here inside of the invoices that we actually didn't used to have. It would pull in some of the data from the account, but you wouldn't be able to customize it like you can now. Okay, so you have your business information there. You can even add some custom values here if you like. You can also customize the invoice title and the terms. That way you don't have to put that in every single email. Also, the due date. So if you have like a default due date of it's immediately due now, you can put 0 or you can put 30 or whatever you choose to do there. You can also add some custom fields if you want to add those into your invoices, and then also notifications. So you have the customer notifications, and again, you can completely customize what the emails look like, and then also the SMS, the text messages that you send out for when they receive the invoice payment is successful, when it's failed, auto payment information, and auto payment failed. Now, I did just tell someone yesterday that we did not have the ability to auto charge using the invoices. I actually discovered that was incorrect. Okay, so we do have the ability to send reoccurring, you build that out here, reoccurring templates for the invoices. But when you build that reoccurring template, you do have the ability to set that to auto charge every single month. Okay, so that is new to me. That is super cool. We didn't used to have the ability to do that, but now we can. Okay. Used to be we had to create like a subscription and then have like a payment page, but you can actually do that with invoices now. Okay, so you would want to set those templates and all of that information here. Okay, so I'm just going to save that and then move on. Now, the next thing is, of course, we need a template. Okay, so we need to build our invoice template. What do we want it to look like? This information right here is what if you want to change any of this, you're going to change that in the settings that I just showed you. Of course, you're going to add your logo here, so that's going to go there. You can add the item and all of this information down here at the bottom if you wanted to pre-fill in like your terms and different notes and things. Okay, so when you create your template, what's going to happen then is you're going to see inside of your workflow when you build it, like you see I have send a proposal and estimate, also at the same time I have send the invoice. You would just want to add that invoice step, and I just want to show you how you do that. So we're going to go down to add the payments, send an invoice, and you're going to choose who it's coming from. So it's going to be me. And then you're going to choose that invoice template that you want to be sent out in this step. Okay. So just to recap here, okay, you need to create a form. That form is going to capture the data. Let me refresh this. So this is where we're capturing the data. Okay, so however you get people's information inside of the system, this is what we're going to be able to utilize in basically everything that we do. Okay, so you capture the data there in the form. Then you're going to create a template for your proposal. You're going to add that to the workflow step, okay, to send the proposal. If you have products, and just to make clear that you know what I'm saying, if you have products using the product element here, meaning this, when they sign it, it's going to turn it into an invoice. If you don't want that to happen, if you want to do like I'm doing and send out the invoice at the same time, you don't want to use this. You just want to type this out and make it look like, you know, they can understand the pricing structure there. Okay. If you do have that, then it will automatically create the invoice, but you don't want to put that step in your workflow, because then it's going to create 2 invoices every time this process goes through. Okay. So I just wanted to make sure that that is clear. All right. So once you do that, you're going to need to choose your invoice template. Okay. So you can choose reoccurring or just a one-time template. And then you want to make sure to, of course, customize all of that and then add that step to your workflow there, and then choose which invoice template that you want to use to send out. Okay. So now, of course, you see up here that there are triggers here for the invoice. So what you can trigger from is the actual invoice status. Okay, so if the invoice is sent or paid, you can choose that. You also can filter down a little bit based on the tag. So if you're like, hey, I want this invoice to get sent, when it's sent, I want only the people who have this tag, you know, when these people have that tag and an invoice is sent, then that's my trigger, right? So that's kind of how all of that would work. Okay, so hopefully you guys are really excited about this new feature. It is just one more thing that we can cancel all of the other tools and do inside of HighLevel without all of the stress and worry of integration. So super, super exciting. Thank you all so much for joining me. If you do not have HighLevel yet, you can go to myvisionagency.com and become a member. If you already have HighLevel, you can still join. Just go ahead and select one of these options here if you'd like to become a part of our community and get access to all of our resources. So thank you all so much for joining me, and I will see you tomorrow, same time, same place. Go make your vision a reality. Bye. Thank you so much for joining us for today's training. If you have any questions, you can join us for open office hours starting right now at bridgetbartlett.com. It's free and open to everyone.